storm. Let me zoom down into this. Very strong winds, not only coming through Craighead County, but also kind of the southwestern parts of Greene County at the moment. There's the severe thunderstorm warning, and that was mainly issued for large hail up in the Boot Hill. But I'm really concerned about this wind that's along this line. Now, I'm not seeing anything that would prompt a tornado warning, but if you notice, see these bright shades of green? This is where we're getting into that 50 to 60 mile per hour winds that are going through western parts of Poinsett County down into Cross County. Newport at the top of the hour had a wind gust of 49 miles per hour, and I think we had all of that, if not a little more, when this line came through here at KAIT, which is located right about here. So anywhere along this line, let's take a look at some of the weather cameras in Jonesboro right now if we can. I would be willing to bet that we've got some strong winds that are moving through. Some very heavy rain continues. That's a live look right now looking out from First National Bank, and you can see that the visibility has really dropped right now due to the heavy rain and the winds that are continuing to move through. Seeing if we've got any warnings yet. They have not issued. I'm shocked that they haven't issued a severe thunderstorm warning for this line of storms that's passing through. That's a live look right now looking out from Central Baptist toward Harrisburg Road, and definitely some very heavy rain. It does look like the winds have eased back just a little bit, but I think here shortly we'll probably start seeing the winds pick up a little bit in Paragould also. There's a live look at NEA Baptist, and the wind looks a little higher there as we look out from Hilltop. That camera may sit a little bit higher also, but it's shaking around just a bit. Visibility's down because of the heavy rain that is passing through. Now, I think once this heavy rain passes through Jonesboro, the severe weather threat for Jonesboro may go down significantly. Now, I can't completely give the all clear until the front moves through later on tonight, but this will help us once this passes through. So we'll continue to watch this. Strong winds right now coming through. Now, we'll have to watch these little notches. This is what we were worried about as this line comes through. There's a little notch down to the southwest of Paragould that we'll have to watch. There's one that is just to the north of Jonesboro. Let me switch back over to radar here, and you can see the line hasn't gone into Paragould yet, but it has gone through Jonesboro. Eastern side of Jonesboro seeing the heaviest rain at this moment. So Lake City, Monette, Manila, you're going to see this line of storms move eastward, and that's really the area that I'm concerned with. If you've got the Region 8 weather app and you got the video that I sent out just a little bit ago, anybody east of this, and really we've kind of been talking about that for the past few hours, is right here is Crowley's Ridge. East of Crowley's Ridge is where we're going to be a little bit more unstable, and these areas here are sitting at 75 to 80 degrees, and they haven't had as much rainfall. They've had some, but not as much rainfall as some areas to the a little bit more here. So that's why we're also seeing the severe thunderstorm warning there in the Boot Hill. Let me widen out, give you a wide perspective. You see all this, what we would call stratiformed rain, just kind of steady rainfall. This is keeping this area fairly stable now. We had some severe thunderstorm warnings earlier with this, and now we are starting to see just plain old rain. Now, I want to show you the reason I can't give the all clear completely. Look at all these storms down through Little Rock. No warnings with those. Ton of lightning, some pretty good cells with some heavy rain, but we'll have to watch those as they move in also. We may find ourselves in a flash flooding situation, which if you're out in and along this line of storms right now, then chances are you're seeing that very heavy rainfall. But what we're worried about, let me get this drawing tool here. Actually, let me zoom in just a little bit. We'll zoom in right through here. Look at this drawing tool here. So pretty much anyone east of this line and south of this heavy rainfall, somewhere through here, this is the area that I'm worried about. That's the area that is the most unstable right now. That is the area that's the warmest. They haven't seen as much rain. The environment is still very conducive. But west of there, yes, you're seeing rain. Some of it's heavy. You even have flash flood warnings. The tornado threat, though, is going to continue right through here. We have, we did the story with Aaron last night telling us about all of the researchers. A lot of them are sitting right here. The rest of them are sitting right here. So that kind of gives you an idea also of why they think this is also a pretty conducive area as well.
We got a wind gust out of the airport.
Yeah.
57 knots, which translates to 65 miles per hour. So strong severe winds moving through Craighead County, are now moving into eastern parts of Craighead County.
I don't want to call anybody out, but make sure the Weather Service knows that. We need a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm.
Yeah, that's where it just popped up. They should see it it popped up in chat, so they should see it pop up in their information too. People are also saying that winds behind the main line that's coming in, when that main line came through Laredo a while ago, the winds behind the storm was a little bit stronger than the winds that were pushing through the storm. So
I wonder if we're seeing what we would call a wake low. A wake low is it's kind of like your boat. You know, when your boat goes through and then back behind there, what is left behind. Sometimes these storms plow through here, and we may be seeing a wake low with these winds coming in. Did you say at Laredo?
Yeah, at Laredo.
Okay. We really need a severe thunderstorm warning right through here.
Yeah, so if you live in eastern parts of Greene, Craighead County, Poinsett County, over into western Mississippi County, so Monette and Leechville, over to Etowah, Lepanto even, Lepanto, Marktree Bay, and Truman, go ahead and just go ahead and start taking your severe weather precautions. I know a lot of schools are either going to let out or have already let out in a lot of Region 8 so far, but if you have kids that are at home right now or who may be getting home, especially if you live in eastern parts of Craighead County, eastern Greene County, eastern Poinsett County, and into parts of Mississippi County and into Dunklin County, let them go ahead and just get them home or make sure they stay inside at least for the next 35 to 40 minutes as this line finally passes through. The Weather Service isn't talking about action warning yet, but
consider this a severe thunderstorm warning right through here. Eastern parts of Poinsett County, Craighead County, even the eastern parts of Greene County over into Mississippi County. Treat this as a severe thunderstorm warning. We had a wind gust of 65 miles per hour at the Jonesboro airport. Seeing the winds here at KAIT is really what prompted us to go on air, because I just want to give everybody, just me seeing this, I was concerned. Sitting outside, I was concerned. So I knew a lot of you would probably be concerned.
Watching the cameras a while ago, that Central Baptist camera, it was just rocking and rolling right as we were coming on. I mean, you look at it now, as this line passes, it calms down considerably. But folks that are in Monette right now, I know there's a lot of storm anxiety in Monette and in Lake City and Truman and Manila and Leechville from just a couple of months ago. So this is coming your way. Not tornadic, but they are working on a severe thunderstorm warning that should come out for that area here in just the
looks
next
like it's
little
calmed
bit.
down a lot. They're looking from Central Baptist now.
Yeah, and then
so that's good. Let's go back to radar real fast.
You can see that on radar. You can see that the rain hasn't really made the heaviest has now moved through Jonesboro.
All right, so once again, if you're watching us, and I'm going to zoom in on some of these locations, we're taking power hits
and there's
here
that
also.
new severe thunderstorm warning. It goes all the way down to wind.
Look at that. This is what we drew just now, and there's the new warning. So let me clear this off of here. Sorry, missed out where the clear is. There's the severe thunderstorm warning now, right through here. Now keep in mind, this line of storms has already had 65 mile per hour confirmed winds. Now let me explain something to you. It doesn't matter if it is an EF0 tornado or EF1 tornado or it's straight line winds. 65 mile per hour winds is 65 mile per hour winds, whether it's rotating or going straight out. That'll cause some problems. So we need to make sure that anyone ahead of this line of storms is taking their precautions. They're not outside in this mess because we'll probably have some debris flying around also. What's the movement on that line?
It is moving. They have it moving towards the east-northeast at 70 miles per hour. So it is hauling. I got a track on it, 246 in Earl, 254 in the Manila Big Lake area, 304 in Blytheville.
Okay. So yeah, I got about the same track you do, just a couple of minutes off there, but shortly after 3 o'clock, it's going to be moving into Gosnell and into Blytheville and eventually over toward the steel mills. We keep taking power hits here, so I bet we still have some gusty winds back behind the main line also. If you're in this area, I'll tell you something else I want to do. I'm going to break this line down so that we can get some more cities. So first, I'm going to do the top half of this, moving to the east, kind of the east-northeast, anywhere from 65 to 70 miles per hour. So it's got Lake City at 240, Big Lake at 256, Gosnell at 305, Blytheville 308, and this is all give or take 3 or 4 minutes, and then Ashport at 316.
We're getting some, got a report on Twitter, some tree damage on the south side of Jonesboro as this storm came through just a little bit ago. A lot of people are posting just how crazy the winds were when this storm
it was wild. I had stepped outside just to see it, and like I said, if I'm concerned about it, then I'm sure everybody's kind of concerned about it because we were looking at the line, didn't think it was too terrible, and then you step outside and it's like, wow, that's why it's good to have eyes on the storm. Southern part of this storm, of this line, 248 Earl, 257 Turl, Joyner at 3 o'clock, Drummond's at 3:14, and at Attico. I've never heard of that place.
I think Atoka is how you say that.
Okay. Atoka at 3:22. I'm going to zoom in on some of this also. The line of storms continues to move through. Probably, if we can, I don't know. Have you seen the Paragould camera? What's it looking like now? We'll take a look at that here in a minute.
Rain started to move into town.
Very heavy rain.
Very heavy rain. I didn't see it as the storm was moving in, but.
Okay. Hornersville, there it is right there. You can see it's definitely not too terrible. You can tell they've had some heavy rain. Spin that around. Look to the east.
As you look back towards the boot hill,
visibility's gone. Usually we can see the overpass there that goes over the railroad tracks there on the east side of town. As you look out past Dodge's Chicken and the Greene County Rescue Squad, usually you can see that overpass. Yeah, I guess you can see it a little bit now, but definitely heavy rain there. Back to radar, and you can see there's the heavy rain, gusty winds moving down 412. Here's Hornersville, Zenith, Cardwell sitting right through here. Oh, tornado warning.
Tornado warning.
Let's go to the wind here. Tornado warning. Here is our issue right through here. Here is Monette. Here is Monette right now. Here is Lake City. This is going north of Lake City. Tornado warning in effect. We need people in the extreme northeastern parts of Craighead County, southern parts of Dunkling County, extreme northwestern parts of Mississippi County to be in your tornado safe spot right now. You can clearly see the area. It's right here.
Yeah, it's going to be out there where 230 and 135 meet there between Brooklyn, out there around that Dixie community, and out towards right there as you get close to the Greene County, Craighead County line. That's going to probably stay north of Monette, but if you're in Monette, I'd stay.
Here's the deal, and this is one of those instances where we're going to speak very frank for just a minute. You've got places that were hit from here to here on December 10th. This rotation is sitting just off to the west here. This is just 100 yards, 200 yards north of what the tornado track was on December 10th. I know that there is big time storm anxiety going on from Monette over to Leachville. Get in your tornado safe spot. Don't panic. Get as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can. Don't get out in this. I know a lot of people may have the inclination to go, okay, I'm going to hop in, I'm going to go to my grandmother's house that has a storm shelter, or my friend's house or something like that. This is really close, just off to the northwest. I'm going to check and see if we've got any debris on this. I'm not seeing that. That's a good sign.
Just to give you some times for people out there, Leachville, 251 Hornersville, 301 Steele, 315 Pascola, 321 Carruthersville, 326. So if you're in Leachville right now, you have you got about 5 minutes to get into your storm, your safety spot. About 15 minutes if you live in Hornersville, but if you live in about 65 miles per hour.
65?
65. If you live in Cardwell, if you live in Arbor, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. That's going to be coming into Hornersville at 301, so you have to say in Arbor and Cardwell 3 o'clock at the very latest if you live in southern Boot Hill. Leachville, you have little to no time. If you live in that northern corner of Craighead County, that northeastern corner of Craighead County, you need to be in your safe spot right now.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to zoom all the way down. This right here is where the rotation is. It's going to be crossing over the St. Francis River. This is the rotation sitting right on County Road 999, 983, 997. What I'm going to do is just kind of move the map along. This is the Macy community, the Childress community. We know everybody, if you're in the County Road 500s through here, anyone through there, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. Now, even farther down to the south, I mean, here's Monette right now. You're officially in the tornado warning. Here's the polygon right here. Even if you are in the city of Monette and the tornado threat appears like it may pass to the north, keep in mind, this is radar. It can be displaced a mile or so in either direction. So let's make sure that even here we're in our tornado safe spot. Yes, the rotation appears like it's going to go up here around the Macy community, But if you're anywhere in the County Road 500s, we need you in your tornado safe spot. Let's slide this a little bit farther. There's a new radar scan. It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. It's getting real close to the Craighead-Greene County line, in that little nook of Craighead County. So if you live along Highway 35 and points to the east in Greene County and in Craighead County, over into northern Mississippi County and into southern Dunklin County, if you live along Highway 412. If you live anywhere along 412, east or west, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. But this is getting real close to Mr. T's there, as you cross out of Arkansas into Missouri. And that's going to continue to just ride that little triple point of Craighead, Greene, Dunklin County.
Hey, Cass, I am starting to get a little worried here. We're about to start juggling a couple of storms here because we've got the tornado warning with rotation passing north of Monette. But down here we have something we need to watch also. Let me zoom in a little closer. Here is Mark Tree. There is still a little area of rotation here and to the north. Now there is not a tornado warning with these, but Mark Tree, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Let's stay away from the windows for just a second. Get a couple more radar scans in here. Lepanto, pay attention to this one also. Not a tornado warning, but just looking at radar. I'm just kind of looking ahead, trying to give you a heads up even before issued officially. We need to watch Mark Tree. If you're Mark Tree to Lepanto, stay away from the windows, kind of treat it like a tornado warning. It's not one yet, but we'll have to watch that area also.
Also, there may be an area that's just to the east of west of Caraway. At least strong winds are fixing to move into Caraway there in Craighead County.
Do me a favor. There should be a mobile radar at Leachville. Let's see if we can get some radar analysis out of that also. If you notice here on the side of your screen, kind of over here by my table, this is Leachville. If you're in that area, you've probably seen the storm researchers there. They have been set up there through the day. More than likely, they have a radar sitting in Leachville right now watching this area. This is Greene County, this is Craighead County, that's Dunklin County, all where this is all coming together. That's 139 here. So this is 139 coming out of Monette, zigzags over and kind of goes by I believe that's like a Mr. T's Annex store through here, and then goes up to Mr. T's. This area right here, is that a new tornado warning? Or did they just trim that one back? No, they just
trimmed the one back just trimmed it a little bit. They took most of the city of Monette's now out of the warning, but we still have part of the city of Monette. The city of Leachville remains in the warning, along with Cardwell, Hornersville, and Reeves.
I'm telling you, I see 2 or 3 different spots that.
Well, there looks like there's a little spot that's just to the south of Mounds there in Greene County, fixing to cross the St. Francis River. One that may be trying to tighten up south of Monette around Black Oak. Got some strong winds fixing to move into Caraway, and then as you head into Poinsett County, some strong winds are pushing through Mark Tree and headed towards Tyronza as well.
So let's take a live look right now. Is Zach with us? Zach, are you out in the storm tracker? Where are you at right now?
Hey Ryan, I just got to Mark Tree and we just had some very, very strong winds. Saw a couple cars almost, get blown into a ditch, and we lost a highway sign there as you come off of the Painway bridges. Blew down right in front of us, and still trying to, get ahead of this storm, which just continues to build in. So not a great time to be driving. Saw a lot of cars, try to risk it. And then after those strong winds kind of pushed through, they quickly got off at the Mark Tree exit and tried to find some cover. Winds aren't too bad right now. Haven't seen any damage in Mark Tree, but there, as you come off those bridges where you have the concrete wall in between you, there were definitely signs of straight line. It was kind of hard to look around while I was driving in between cars who were stopped, and the highway sign was halfway blown into the right travel lane. Got some branches down here as I try to get on Highway 14 to kind of get ahead of the leading edge, but no visible signs of rotation. I haven't seen any low clouds, but definitely strong straight line winds.
All right, Zach, are you going to kind of come in on the backside? That looks like it's really starting to tighten up between Mark Tree and Lepanto right now. Are you just going to kind of stay behind that rotation?
Yeah, that's the plan, but just trying to get out of Mark Tree at this point.
Well, the National Weather Service, they are working on a tornado warning that will be for that storm moving out of Mark Tree that will go into Mississippi County. So
Zach, you're about to be right in the tornado warning. Did you get that?
Yes, I believe it's in front of me, the rotation. I just got on Highway 14. I'm coming out of the north side of Martree. I'm just going to hang back, let this pass a little bit and see if I can see anything. But
Hey,
very heavy rain. I can see branches down, and signs of the strong winds have already passed.
And they just issued that tornado warning. It is for, and you can hear his phone going off. This will include Lepanto, Etowah, and over to Kaiser and Dice as it moves out of Poinsett County. A small little slither of southeastern parts of Craighead County and a good chunk of central parts of Mississippi County as that storm moves from Martree. And it's really starting to tighten up there on Highway, I think that's Highway 14 there between Martree and Lepanto right now.
All right, Zach, I know you're driving, so I want to give you a little bit of a heads up of how you're going in. If I'm looking at where you're at, you're heading toward Lepanto out of Martree, and you haven't hit that 90-degree turn, have you yet, that heads over toward Lepanto?
No, I just crossed the little river. I can see now what looks to be a lowering in front of me to my right. So it may be slightly off camera, can't tell. But yeah, that's where I'm looking at the moment.
All right.
So if anything does develop, I assume it should be right there in front of me.
We need everybody in Lepanto to be in your tornado safe spot immediately. This thing's tightening up just to your southwest. I'm going to stay with us because, Zach, I see the lowering there, I believe. We're kind of bouncing two storms.
Yeah, and I can see winds wrapping around. We've got probably either due west or southwest winds where I'm at. So the rotation is just ahead.
All right, I tell you what. There's that 90-degree turn. All right, as soon as you make that turn, I would stop because it's the rotation. As soon as you make that turn, should be out of your right window. I see that lowering ahead of you, but looking at radar right now, and I know that could be displaced a little bit. It looks like you should have some rotation out to the right side of the road coming into Lepanto.
And let me give you some times right quick.
I'm not at that right angle turn. I am at the one southwest of that. So it's almost
okay,
like
okay. I see what you're talking about there.
45-degree angle turn.
Here's the deal, Zach. We're going to come back to you in 30 seconds. I want to make sure that we take care of the northern part of this storm also. Here is Leachville. You still have some rotation that is going to cross over Highway 77. It is right here, Hornersville. We need you in your tornado safe spot. Cardwell, it looks like it's going to slide south of you, but I want you to be in your tornado safe spot also. Now, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to everybody because I know everybody in Hornersville and Reeves and Leachville, you're like, hey, focus on our tornado, and everyone down to the south here around Lepanto is going to say, hey, focus on our tornado warning right now. We're going to balance these. I need, this looks has just passed to the north of Leachville. Now, I've got a friend of mine that lives right through here. This rotation just passed, so I'm going to check and see exactly what they had here. Newsroom, we need you to check for power outages. So check for power outages and see if we've got any of those up here around Highway 77. Hornersville, Reeves, even still, we need you in your tornado safe spot. All right, let's balance this out. Let's go down to Martree. This is where the George Kell Storm Tracker and Zach Holder is. This rotation looking pretty significant.
And it's
you can
right
see
over
Lepanto
right now.
All right, so we just now saw the storm tracker coming through this curve. He's probably sitting right through here. As soon as he makes that 90-degree turn, he's going to be really close to this. So let's go back to Zach now. Zach, who's out in the George Kell Storm Tracker, you must be getting pretty close to that rotation. Is that a lowering I see on your right?
Yeah, I believe that's the lowering, and kind of on here I've got radar in the car. Kind of looks like there may be, a secondary area of rotation. Not quite sure you can see that on your end. I think that's directly overhead, and nothing visible. I don't see any funnels. I don't see anything that looks tornadic, but there is. The winds at the surface have died down a little bit. But yeah, there were some blown highway signs down right when I made that turn due north. I could see the right-hand turn right in front of me. No signs of anything on the ground or anything close to being on the ground. But,
so that's the 90-degree turn in front of you, Zach?
So, correct.
Okay, I thought you had already made that turn. All right. All right, we're going to come back to you in just a minute. As soon as you make that 90-degree turn, I'm going to come back to you, and we're going to check on Lepanto. Back to radar for a second. Here is Zach right here. He's making this turn here in just a minute. We're going to check back with him when he's right here because rotation is sitting right on top of Lepanto. It's a little disorganized, a little wider instead of tighter of what we would typically see with a tornado, but there may be one there. We'll watch that. While he's making that turn and getting a little closer, I'm going to take you to the northern tornado warning right now. Remember, this entire area is under a severe thunderstorm warning also. So even though we're not focusing on your specific area, let me do this real fast. Even though we're not focusing on this entire line and we're focusing on the rotation, let me widen this out real fast. Anyone along this line, you run the risk of 70-mile-per-hour winds. We had 65-mile-per-hour winds here in Jonesboro as it came through. We're now in the clear in Jonesboro and in Paragould. So Jonesboro, Paragould, Clay County, you're in just some stable rain right now. So hopefully things start quietening down for you. 2 tornado warnings, 2 areas of rotation. One's moving out of Arkansas into the Boot Hill. The rotation, the possible tornado is right here. This is the Hollywood community. This is Arbor. This is going to be Hornersville here. I believe this is 164, Highway 164, I believe. Right where it intersects in with State Highway K. Is that right? Is that going to be 164?
Yeah, 164.
Okay, if I'm
in K Highway, yeah, that's 164. That runs out of Hornersville into Arbor.
Okay, so right where 164 is, Hollywood area, just to the west of Hornersville. We need Hornersville, Cotton Plant, even Hollywood. In the Reeves community, Sunrise, we need all of you in your tornado safe spot immediately because there is signs that we have a tornado that is passing just to the west of Hornersville. So Dunklin County, southern Dunklin County.
The Mississippi County OEM is saying that the Leachville Fire Chief is reporting some rotation north of Leachville right now. So that
would be the one that crossed over Highway 77.
Yeah.
Let me check my phone here. I've got some people over there right now. We got power lines down also in Greene County at 135 and 960 road. Also getting reports from Jonesboro Police that we're getting trees down and poles down also across Jonesboro.
Also have trees down south of Truman right now on Highway 463. Both lanes are blocked. About 200 people are without power in Etowah and 116 customers. This is from Entergy without power over in Walnut Ridge.
And that's just straight line winds.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Zach right now. Zach is probably getting pretty close to Lepanto. And Zach, can you see anything?
Hey Ryan, I'm rolling into Lepanto right now and seen some branches down. I can see the lowering in front of me to my left.
Yeah, I can see that.
A little bit of flooding, it looks like, maybe trying to start there along some of these houses on the west side of Lepanto.
So at the very least, we're going to get some.
See if I can see a little bit better.
Very least, we're going to get some wind damage out of this, right? Yeah, I see that lowering, Zach, just out on the left side of your screen.
There's a trampoline on the wrong side of the fence. Not sure if that's from today, but that looked out of place. Have not seen any other type of damage so far.
Okay. All right, so what you're looking at there, Zach, is kind of following in on the back side of the rotation that just went through Lepanto. If you look closely, we're starting to lose the signal a little bit. We can definitely see a lowering when we didn't have the trees just now to his left. You may be able to make that out just a little bit. He's going to continue kind of following in on the back side of that. I still see the siren. Yeah, the sirens are going off there.
And he should be able to follow this storm up Highway 140. The 140 will take him up from Lepanto to Etowah, and that eventually takes him into Osceola.
Did you hear that, Zach? You can just take Highway 140 all the way through. He probably
yeah, I think I ignored Castleberry there. I think I'm going to try to hook 77 so I can have the storm at a better camera angle than kind of what I am now. I'm trying to stay out from under it. I think I'm going to go east of Lepanto, hit 77, and then make my turn north.
Okay. It's tightening up. I mean, we have a very strong inflow notch just down to the south of Etowah. So, is that the lowering to your right now?
It is. I am on 140, so I listen to Castleberry. I'm on 140.
Yeah,
all right, be
140
safe out
goes a
there.
little
I know it's hard to juggle all that around, but it's very fortunate that we didn't see any significant damage in Lepanto when you came through. We'll circle back on that and see. Now you're about to make a turn here. We're going to get a better idea of this rotation there. That's going to be pretty close to Etowah now. Once again, meteorologist Zach Holder is going from Lepanto up to around Etowah, probably following this on in, probably up to Osceola. Eventually, you're going to get it up to around Interstate 55, and you can stay with that also. Okay, we're going to juggle tornado warnings now. Let's go to the other one. This is the one that Zach is on. So he is I guess he's on 140 up here with this to his right side. There's actually two little areas of rotation. He's got to head up and stay behind this storm. But we also have southern parts of Dunkling County under a tornado warning still. This was our first tornado warning. Had the severe thunderstorm warning. Just had a line of storms that was just really, really packed a punch coming into Jonesboro. And that's why we came on air initially before there were any warnings at all, just because we witnessed it ourselves and just knew that a lot of you with the anxiety of everything that's going on anyways, wanted to kind of help you out on getting through that. Jonesboro, though, doing pretty good now. We have had several reports of trees down, power lines down, but now the organization of the rotation that is going through Hornersville now, not quite as pronounced as what it was. Still some strong winds are probably going through Hornersville. Still need the Reeves community and Hornersville to be in your tornado safe spot right now, but it's little less ominous than what it was. Boy, I say that, and as soon as I say that, get a new radar scan. Right through there, still some rotation, tightening up a little bit. Have we heard anything on this storm?
No, I've got a video that was sent in. It was north of Hornersville.
All right.
We take this up.
Let's see if we can go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's
you
lowering.
can see a little bit of a lowering there. This was north of Hornersville on Y Highway.
So it's rain on the left side, and then that lowering's kind of on the right side. And I'm guessing they were looking at this. I guess they were looking east. More than likely.
More than likely. And they may have been looking south because they were a couple of miles north of Hornersville. Then maybe east or south. Can't really tell.
All right, so if you're in Hornersville, if you're in Reeves, be in your tornado safe spot right now. We've got 2 tornado warnings right now. We need everyone in Hornersville and Reeves to be in your safe spot. That's with this warning. And then the second warning is down here. It is fully in Mississippi County. And really, to be honest with you, there is the parent rotations right here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see anything through here. Zach is coming up through here in the George Kell Storm Tracker, and I would be willing to bet. Let's go back to Zach. I bet he's got a decent little lowering probably on the right side of his screen if he's still back through here. Zach, are you seeing this rotation still?
It is rain wrapped very well. I may be on the right side, and it's a car that I'm not sure if they hydroplaned in the ditch, but they were in the ditch. Someone had their truck though, and were getting their straps out to try to pull them out. So kept on going. They didn't seem like they needed help. And continue to see kind of signs of broken power lines, but I don't know if it's fresh or not. It's sporadic, but every half mile there's either some piece of wood in the road or a power line leaning or have one of the crossbars on it broken. So it's just too hard to tell if that's fresh or not.
All right, tell you what, we'll check the power outages in that area. Have you gone through the?
I saw where he was. He just crossed into Mississippi County, so he's around, getting close to the West Ridge community out there, right before you make that turn that takes you on the south side of Etowah.
Okay,
So,
I know what you're talking. Right where the three-way community.
Yeah.
Through there. Okay, so Zach, what we're seeing on the right side of your screen should be where, if anything's going to drop down, it's going to be right outside your right side there. But there is also some smaller areas that are of concern south of there. So when you turn right here in just a little bit and start heading due east, you will have that the area of concern right in front of you, but you'll have another area kind of down the line of storms a little bit, but that entire complex is rotating like a top.
Hey Ryan, I don't know if you can see my feed. If you look off to the right, It does look like a funnel or at least a wall cloud. It gets hidden in the rain, but it does have a very definite shape to it.
Yeah, we can see that, and I know you're driving, so we can't turn that camera, so don't worry about that. Don't be dangerous on that. I see some emergency people going by you also, or maybe other storm chasers. Yeah, that is the area you're watching. Now, as soon as you make that 90-degree turn, that's going to be right out in front of you. So you should have a pretty good perspective on that here in just a second. Tell you what, once again, we're juggling 2 tornado warnings at the same time, and we don't want to neglect other people, so just bear with us as we try to balance this out. So Zach is right here. He's about to make this 90-degree turn. That lowering you saw was right through here, but there's another little area here. He's going to turn here, and as soon as he starts heading due east, we're going to check back with him because he should have this crossing over the road. So anybody near Etowah, near Kaiser, Osceola, you're not under the tornado warning right now, but watch this one closely. Here's Interstate 55, Little River. The threat should pass south of you, but watch this one closely. Let me do something here also. I want to give a peace of mind to other people. So our problems right now are Boot Hill, Mississippi County, just off the eastern parts of Poinsett County down to Cross County. This is just rainfall through the rest of Region 8. I don't want to give you the all clear just yet. The front hasn't gone through, and if you look down to the south, there are more storms coming out of Little Rock. I seriously doubt we can recharge the atmosphere before these come in. So, but at the same time, I don't want to give the all clear. We do have a lot of heavy rain that's still going to be coming in and a lot of lightning. But I'm hoping the tornado threat has diminished for this area because 2 tornado warnings is enough for us right now.
And they've just extended that tornado warning to go further into Pembroke County, and that does include Hayti and Caruthersville. Okay,
so new tornado warning is in effect. You see it here kind of glowing. That's the new warning that is coming in now. That officially in Kennett, but it appears, let's see here. I'm guessing they're still looking at this crossing over 164, which 164, 90s off of Hornersville, and then 90s again through here. They're going to be, I'm assuming that's what they're looking at here?
Yeah, I'm assuming so too, because that's the only thing that they're seeing. And that's getting close to that little, that point that a lot of people that travel to Gosnell or Blytheville, they go through the Boot Hill, and there's that road right there on the Dunklin-Pembroke County line that goes from, goes out of Missouri into Gosnell, and it looks like they just issued, they extended the tornado warning in Mississippi County, and this does include Blytheville and Osceola now.
Okay, so this is going to be, that is really tightening up, and I'm glad that we have eyes on this storm. So the one down to the south, let me widen out here just a second. So Blytheville is now, and
Osceola, Kaiser, Burdett.
This is going to include some populated areas here.
All the way out to the steel mills there in Blytheville and in Osceola. Okay,
so here's Osceola, here's Blytheville, here's our concern over here. 2 tornado warnings. One right now is up here on 164. We need Braggadocia and areas all around through southern Pembroke County in your spot. The second one is down. That's the rotation. It's just to the north of Kaiser. It is moving to the northeast. So Burdett, we need you in your tornado safe spot. Osceola, you're in the warning. I'm hoping it passes north of you, but take cover now also. Big Lake, this is going to slide south of you. That's Manila up here, Lake City and Monette. This is all down to your southeast. So everybody got kind of hit on December 10th up there around Monette, Leachville, those areas. Your threat has gone down now, so you can stand down. Now, what we're watching is this area. Now, Zach should have maybe made that turn now, and probably has the rotation right in front of him if that's the case. Have you made the turn yet? It looks like you have.
Yes, I'm heading due east. Back in the Westridge community, which is south of Etowah, there was some sheet metal just thrown in a field in a line, kind of had a trail of sheet metal. So, and either report that to the National Weather Service. I'm not going to say we had a brief touchdown because I did not see anything tornadic, but there was a lot of rain, at least straight line wind damage, or part of that wraparound of the rotation. Maybe there was just enough wind to do that damage. It was hard to see what state the buildings were in, if they were kind of abandoned, if they were still being used. But I did notice that I had a couple of law enforcement officers behind me. They pulled off there, so that makes me think that they felt the need to check that out.
All right, I think, Zach, what you might want to do is you continue moving up east on 140. It looks like this rotation has crossed over 140, and just kind of looking at your camera, you can see that there's that lowering that just a notch north of the road. If you go down there and you turn on, I believe it's going to be 375, actually maybe 181.
Yeah, 181, that's the turn that takes you to Kaiser.
Yeah.
There's a shop right there. I've been past this many times covering stories in Mississippi County. There should be a shop right there at 181 and 140, and you should be able to point that north.
Yeah, and then if you cross through there, if it was on the ground, and you should have a damage path somewhere through there, and then you can take probably 158 and notch over to I-55.
Sounds good. Yeah, just past the intersection of 77, and that truck let me pass there. And so should be making that left turn, but I cannot see much to my north. It is very, very wet.
It's moving along pretty good now. So, yeah, I think if you took 181 and then you went over on 158 and get on 55, that would probably be the best way to stay safe and to continue following on the backside of the storm. Appreciate that update, Zach. We'll come back to you here in just a minute. Once again, meteorologist Zach Holder is watching this rotation here. So he's coming down 140. He said he just passed this intersection. So here's the rotation. He's going to come here, come up 181, see if there's any damage where it's coming across here. But we need everybody in the path of this. It's kind of weak rotation, but Burdett, County Road 602, 506, Hightower, and then anywhere along I-55 from Burdett, really to kind of stand down. If you live in that area, make sure that you are in the lowest level. You got as many walls in between you and the outside that you possibly can.
I know it's not popping up on the map, but right there where 181 and 158 meet, that's going to be the little community of Victoria in Mississippi County. So if you've ever been through Victoria going to the backside to go to Osceola, there's that train car that sits there in Victoria, and that's also going to go up close to the Mississippi County Jail that's out there between Luxora and 181. And that continues to go up where the Mississippi County Jail is, the Mississippi County Landfill, and back up to Burdett where all the Mississippi County offices are right now, with them still doing the remodeling at the courthouse in Blytheville. All
right, so we'll check back with Zach here in just a moment. All right, here's the other tornado warning. This is southern parts of Pemscott County. A little worried about this area, and really that area too. This looks like it'll pass north of Steele and north of Cooter. It's going to be very, very close to Braggadocia, Hayti, and Caruthersville. Hayti, Caruthersville, Braggadocia. If you know anybody traveling on Interstate 55, this is 155 that crosses over the bridge, goes over into Tennessee. This is 412, which goes just to the south of Hayti Heights. You see here on the far left of your screen, that is Kennett. So that's going to be passing really close to Braggadocia, Hayti, and Caruthersville. That is our first tornado warning that we have right now. And then just make sure we're not missing anything. Oops, hold on.
Looking down the line to southern Mississippi County and to Crittenden County, thing that would be tornadic, just some strong winds that just moving into Golden Lake area. And then further to the north, the tornadic cell there in Pemscott County, and then one in central Mississippi County. And then looking back towards the east, or to the west, excuse me, I don't really see too much of anything. Maybe some strong winds moving out of Cross County into Crittenden County right now. That may have to be watched, but as that moves into south of Earl and in Marion, that goes into the Memphis market.
All right, so it looks like the threat is going to pass north of Osceola. Here's Osceola. Here's the area that we're worried about. Burdett, though, and I know it's kind of hard to pick out what kind of what we're worried about here. But it's right through here, and you're thinking, okay, I thought we were supposed to look at reds and greens together. Yeah, but we're also looking at real big shifts in the winds because I don't have this on storm relative. And really, it kind of fell apart a little bit right there. Still some strong winds just in general between Burdett and Luxora right now.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go back to Zach in a minute. He's down here on this storm in Mississippi County. While while we wait to go back to him, I just want to take a look at radar, just what you're used to seeing a lot of times. Look at all the lightning here going in Dunklin and Pemiscot County. The storms go down into Mississippi County, and boy, a ton of lightning. So in Cross County and St. Francis County, from Earl down to just west of Hughes, in between Forest City and Hughes right now. That's a nasty, nasty looking storm right now with a lot of updrafts going with it. We'll have to watch that coming into Crittenden County, but that's outside of Region A. Our severe weather threat, as long as these storms down to the south can behave, knock on wood, we might just be dealing with rain the rest of the night.
It's starting to look like that. You look farther back down to Little Rock, those storms, just heavy rain flood warnings down in central and south, central Arkansas.
Yeah.
The severe threat is now in the central and southern Delta, and then the tornadic threat in the North Delta and the Boot Heel. And a lot of this is fixing across the Mississippi River.
Do we have power outages? Have you seen?
We do. We have
Let's
several.
Let's go over to Aaron for a minute.
So right now, taking a look here at outages, got several people without power from Lepanto back up to Etowah right now along that little area that Zach talked about. So right through where the West Ridge area is, that we have power outages there. And then as you head, let me go pull up Craighead Electric. Got several people without power with Craighead Electric right now. Just I got an email just a minute ago showing several people, especially in and around Jonesboro and on the east side of Jonesboro, without power. North of Jonesboro, back over towards Lake City, several people without power, and then up around the Dixie and Shooktown areas there on the Craighead Greene County line, several people without power there. And we have some photos that were sent in via email of some of that damage. This is on Highway 135 here near Shooktown. You can see insulation and tree limbs blown across that grassy area, and also damage to a mobile home out there. This is over in Shooktown on Highway 135. That's from that storm that moved through just a little bit ago, that moved over into parts of, that's now in the Boot Heel, that's now moving into Pemiscot County. That continues to move up towards getting ready to cross over Highway I-55, 155, 412 there, where it all meets there at Haytime and goes down to Caruthersville. And we still have that tornado warning, that storm that's now really riding up I-55 in Mississippi County, getting close, looking between Blytheville and Osceola right now.
Yeah, it's not as pronounced as what it was earlier up there in Pemiscot County or Mississippi County right now, but it's enough to where if you're in Burdett, if you're in Luxora, if you're in these areas, just let's take 20 minutes or so and be in our tornado safe spot for just a little bit longer. Yeah,
the strongest rotation may be right there moving across 55 there at 148 Burdett, and that will continue. That will go on the south side of Blytheville here before too long.
Where is that camera that sits over there?
I think it sits at Burdett. Give me just a second, and I will pull
traffic cam east of Luxora. All right, I tell you what, I'm just going to go through while you're checking on that for just a second. I've been working radar over here, and I've had a lot of reports out of Twitter. I've got power out at Monette. I've got damage out of Brooklyn from those storms that came through. Yeah.
We have
there it is. Yeah.
Heavy downpour on I-55 right now. This is there at the Burdett exit there on I-55 at 158. Cars moving slowly, just heavy rain right now on the interstate as people are heading up and down 55. The area of rotation is on the east side of the interstate. I think this camera may be sitting on the it's looking south, so that camera's looking south. So the area of rotation would be over here now as it continues to move up I-55. And it's really, the area of rotation, Ryan, has really fallen apart.
Yeah.
But still, if you live in Burdett, if you live in Blytheville or out towards Armorel and the steel mills, just for the next little bit, as this storm continues to move up, it could wrap up quickly as it moves through now northeastern parts of Mississippi County. This looks to be north of Osceola, but stay in your just maybe another 5 to 10 minutes if you live in Osceola. They've trimmed that warning back.
Now. Zach, are you with us, and what are you seeing?
I am back on 181 headed north. So I'm almost to Victoria. I'll make the right turn. Had a technical issue I had to take care of, so I think that knocked me too far behind. It's pretty dark, pretty rainy back off to where any rotation would be. I don't have a clear line of sight.
All right. So once again, I tell you, I'm going through my Twitter feed right now. Appreciate that report, Zach. Stay safe out there. Looks like it's about to cross outside of Region 8. He'll check with see if there's any damage or anything like that. I'm just kind of looking through Twitter right now, and I tell you, that line of storms, just the line itself, caused damage in Brooklyn. I've seen the Kaufman community near Paragould. I saw a shop building take on some significant damage down around Central Baptist. I can't tell, and you may be able to pull this up here in a minute. I retweeted it. But some piece of equipment or something went through.
That looks like maybe a
swing,
an outdoor swing.
Blew into someone's window, got trees down in Jonesboro. As I mentioned earlier, JPD was reporting not only trees, but power lines down. Also, just going through here some more, see what else that I see. But definitely some nasty storms, just the line of storms outside of the tornado warnings themselves, just quite significant, which the Jonesboro Airport had a 65-mile-per-hour wind gust. So, and that's measured. I'm sure there was other locations that had that or higher. Rain continues. This is a good thing. This rain's keeping us stable because the front hasn't gone through just yet. So that's a good thing. I'm just going to go down through this line once again. I'm going to switch this over to winds so we can see if there's any rotation still. Caruthersville, you've got some strong winds, but the rotation just doesn't look as organized as what it was just a bit ago. Now, I would continue to be in your tornado safe spot. Steele, you're good now. Braggadocia down to Cooter. Blyville's good now, just down to the south of Blyville, and maybe even down here just to the east of Osceola. Just a couple of little suspicious areas that, tell you what, I'm going to step off here and actually put it on storm relative. See if we can pick out that rotation a little better. Maybe a little bit right through there. Yeah. That's about it.
That's going to be just to the north of Luxora.
Yeah.
Between Luxora and Burdett.
We'll zoom all the way down there. That's going to be
East
right
County
on
Road 74, that area. Highway 120 and Highway 120 that runs out to O'Donnell Bend. Out there in real rural parts of Mississippi County, but there's there's people that live out here. There's a lot of farmlands, a lot of farmhouses and things out here on the inside of the levee system that doesn't get flooded by the Mississippi River.
Strong winds right now going through Earl, but other locations, we're going to have to go out here probably when it stops raining. We're going to start getting some more damage reports coming in just off the line of storms. So the straight line winds appeared to be the worst thing so far. We'll have to go back and look at some of this. I have also had I had a picture here a bit ago of a live power line down at Arbor, and it was firing and all kinds of stuff. So if you do come across something like that,
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of photos of trees down. Got a report. It's from the John Grisham house in Lepanto that took on some serious damage. The mayor and the police chief saying that the John Grisham painted house, the whole back side of the wall was blown out when the storm moved through Lepanto just a little bit ago. Crews are out there cleaning that up. Luckily, no injuries with that. Getting several just uprooted tree reports in Cardwell. And a little bit ago, this is probably when this storm was back around Highway 181, so this has been several minutes now ago, there was a funnel cloud that was spotted by a trained spotter there south of Blyville. But that's been
south of Blyville?
That's been several minutes. So that would have been back probably when it's back around Burdett.
Yeah. All right, I'm seeing if we've got anything else to coming in. Just a lot of damage reports, just straight line winds, it sounds like.
And it didn't take anything. That line started to move in, got right there along Crowley's Ridge, and then it just blew up. The winds just blew out of this storm.
And the data today has done really well. You know, if you joined us earlier, we were talking about how it just looked like Crowley's Ridge eastward just looked like it had the better environment. And as soon, like you said, as soon as it hit the ridge, everything just kind of blew up. Let's go back over to radar. Actually, back over to radar. And you can see we're almost going to see this cross over the river and become a problem for Tennessee. They just extended that tornado warning even farther, the one that is kind of plaguing Caruthersville right now.
Yeah, farther into up towards the Railfoot Lake area there in Tennessee, Obion and Union City. Folks that have any interest down in Marion and Memphis right now, I know there's probably a lot of people who travel in from Memphis. A new tornado warning just issued for Crittenden County and Shelby County for a storm that's out towards the west of Marion. So if you know anybody that may be getting ready to leave the Memphis area, tell them to hunker down and just wait for this to move through. This storm is still back to the west of Marion, back towards Crawfordsville and Proctor, but this will be moving into West Memphis, Marion, and eventually on the north side, on the North Loop there in Memphis before too long.
Now there should be some cameras right there. I mean, that rotation is just down to the south of Jeanette, crossing over the interstate probably here within the next couple of minutes. So
here's a look at this. Is looking from
let's go.
That,
oh wow,
that
is.
curve
That's a
that
rough.
You come out from Forest City back towards. This is looking back towards Forest City. So that curve that goes back down into West Memphis. This is still looking off towards the west there. So right down the interstate, that curve there on I-40 as you come out of West Memphis and make that trek back towards Jeanette. There's that gas station that sets off of the interstate there near Proctor. Looks like the area of rotation may be sitting right there on the St. Francis Crittenden County line, right there along that exit that takes you down Highway 79 that takes you down to Hughes. People who may know that little area of St. Francis County going back down towards Hughes. But that may be a little bit of a lowering.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Let me close out that box there. But maybe just a little bit of a lowering on that.
Tell you what, keep an eye on that. Look at that lightning there.
Mm-hmm.
And look at everybody just coming right into that tornado.
Yeah, they're
warning.
driving right. A lot of folks are driving out of West Memphis back towards Forest City. It looks like not too many cars driving towards Memphis, and it's 4 o'clock. It's 3:30 to 4 o'clock. A lot of people are starting to get off of work and maybe heading across back into Arkansas, heading towards West Memphis and Marion. If you know anybody who if you live in southern part, live in Tyrons or Mark Tree, working, or know somebody that works in Memphis or in Marion or West Memphis, tell them to get on the phone and tell them to wait just a little bit, let this storm pass as it continues to move through now central parts of Crittenden County.
Let's check in with Zach Holder. We're going to continue to watch that. I know that tornado warning down in Crittenden County is out of our viewing area, but we also have a ton of people that commute back and forth to Memphis. And like you said, with it being 3:30 right now, we're going to keep an eye on that for just a little longer. And I think we've got a camera view on it also. Zach, it looks like you're on 55 now. What's your game plan?
I am headed north to Burdett. I stopped at the last interchange and kind of clocked it out, and I'm 54 minutes from Marion, so there's no reason for me to try to make that storm down near I-40. So I'm gonna drive through Burdett, see if I can see any damage. Stopped at a farm there on 158 between 181 and I-55, and they had all their workers. They had a UPS guy who'd stopped cover, asked them if they'd seen anything, if there was any damage, and they said just a lot of wind.
Yeah.
They said as far as they know, it's just, minor limbs down and branches down. So that's some good news to report, and I'll let you know if I find anything in Burdett.
Okay, sounds good. Zach's going to be out in the storm tracker. Just got a full list of just trees down, and this is all from Jonesboro Police Department. Craighead County Road 995, power lines and power poles down. Craighead County Road 936, power pole down. 988, a power pole down. Craighead 931, at Paragould, power line down and lines down. So our linemen are going to be working, sounds like, for a few hours. All of those roads that I just listed also are blocked while they continue to clear that up. Also, 928 road in Brooklyn, power pole broken. 928 Road, 841 at Black Oak. We've got a power pole that is broken there also. Let me see what else we got. 995, 936 also. So a lot of power poles and trees down from there.
Yeah, I'm continuing to watch this camera here.
Yeah.
Still have ominous looking skies. Can't really tell. Watching this area right here, this storm is really riding right along I-55. And I'll give you this is where that camera is right here, where you make that bend, and this is what that camera looks like right now. This is coming into West Memphis, and there's a lot of people on the interstate right now. A lot of people heading out of West Memphis, and several people now heading from Forest City back towards West Memphis. So a lot of people out and about. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. A lot of schools are already out, but there are still a lot of commuters that drive in and out of Memphis and West Memphis every day, and it's getting close to that time. People starting to get off of work and could be heading home. So if you know anybody that is working in Memphis or is driving, was at a doctor's appointment in Memphis today, let them know that there is a tornado warning that's in effect for not just Memphis, but West Memphis, Marion, up to Crawfordsville. Wait this out another 35, 40 minutes. Let this cross the river, move through Memphis before they get back on the road and start heading back towards Region 8.
I'll tell you also, let's go to radar for just a second. I want to show you something with that storm. Now, typically we wouldn't stay with this storm down west of West Memphis because it is just outside of Region 8. But I know a lot of people commute over from Memphis. But pretty soon we're going to go back to regular programming. Our newsrooms are going to collectively get any of the damage reports together. But right here, there's Jeanette, there's Proctor, there's West Memphis, here's I-40. So I believe what Cass was showing us just a minute ago was a camera view going back to this. I saw a couple of pictures. I don't know if it's a debris signature, but it definitely matches up there with something kind of going on. Because if you notice, here's this. Remember this, just kind of to the northwest of Main Street there, and you match that up with the wind. Well, now it's moved. Now it's here now. So I don't know. May or may not be something, but let's take another look right now. Some heavy rain coming. That's Jeanette. So this would be just down to the west. Looks like you either have a disabled vehicle or someone just got worried and pulled off there. That's dangerous. That's, they're right there on the edge. Visibility's down. These cars are coming in the fast lane there. Scary to see that.
Yeah, I'm just watching this rain shaft that's now moving up I-40 there.
Yeah. On
that camera, it's getting closer and closer and closer to that turn there on I-40, and every once in a while you see something on the camera that may be something, but I think a lot of that's just raindrops hitting the camera. But visibility is fixing to drop right here on this camera before too long, and that area of rotation is getting ever so much closer to that bend, and that's going to move right into West Memphis here in the next 5 to 10 minutes as it continues to head move east through Crittenden County, eventually moving into Shelby County. Here's a look at that area of rotation just down here along I-40 before you get to West Memphis. This is moving towards the east, moving towards Memphis. A lot of just want to just make sure just everybody that may be traveling out of Memphis this afternoon, or if you know somebody who is in Memphis, working in Memphis, just wanted to spend the day in Memphis, who may be headed back about this time, get on the phone. Just let them know that there's a pretty bad storm that's moving into West Memphis, into Memphis over the next 30 to 40 minutes. Moving up the line, that tornado warning for Mississippi County has expired. Only tornado warning in effect is for Pittman, Scott County, and really the area of rotation with that storm is now east of the Mississippi River, moving through parts of Tennessee now. The heaviest is now to the east of Caruthersville. That storm in Mississippi County that prompted that tornado warning back a little bit ago, that storm has just fallen apart. Severe thunderstorm warnings remain in effect for Pittman, Scott County, Mississippi County, and Crittenden County for the next little bit as this line pushes through. zoom out to see all of Region 8, and you can see back towards the west. If you're in Salem, Mountain Home, Mountain View, even Batesville now, Heber Springs, you're starting to clear out. The rain's moving out. We have stabilized in places like Pocahontas, Piggott, Paragould, Jonesboro, Harrisburg. We'll still watch these storms that are down to the south, but Ryan, I really think that those storms will continue to move across southern Arkansas, and our severe threat is
all but gone.
Almost over.
Yeah. You know, that's why I was sitting here thinking, I think we're about to go back to regular programming. I think all in all, and I know if you're watching us right now and you lost a shop building or you lost some trees or your power's out or your poles are down or this, I know there's damage. And you're going to hear me say this and you're going to roll your eyes, but I think all things considered, we're faring this pretty well. Considering the storm system that we had and everything. I know we've got a ton of trees down. We got a lot of people without power. And on any other day, I would say that's horrible. But considering what we could have had in this environment, I'm going to say we're doing pretty good.
I think so, too. No, a lot of people were probably thinking about, oh, no, it's going to be like December 10th. And luckily, so far, it's anywhere today, we haven't seen anything
the magnitude of December 10th.
December 10th. We do, like you said, we do have damage all across the area.
And we'll check and see if that is going to be connected to tornado or straight line winds or what. I think we're probably going to have to check parts of Craighead County. A lot of those 900 roads. I'm assuming that's northeast part of the county.
Yeah, some of those areas where I saw damage right there. Where 135 is, where the rotation was between Lake City and between Monette and Brooklyn, up through Shooktown, and that kind of moved over into Dunklin County.
And then we had a little bit of damage in Lepanto. We may come out of this with maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes confirmed, maybe 3. But once again, all things considered, I know that's crazy to say 1 or 2 to 3 tornadoes and to come out of this and go, oh, I think this was a win. But, you know, all things considered, we haven't heard of injuries. We haven't heard of loss of seen significant home damage. And trees, we can fix that up pretty good. Tell you what, we're about to go back to regular programming. Something else to note, it is 3:38 right now. This thing's also moving about 3 hours ahead of time, which is also great news. But we're not going to give the all clear yet. I think we're good. I think we're good for the rest of the night. I'm watching down to the south. It looks like those will ride kind of south of I-40. Front still hasn't gone through yet. You know, we still have to watch little storms like this. So I'm not to the point where I'm going to say it's all clear, but I am saying we're looking pretty good right now. We're going to regroup. We're going to check on the damage. We're going to check on the power outages, all that stuff. We'll have a full update coming up on Region 8 News at 5. Hopefully, we do not have to break in between now and then. We'll keep an eye on it. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue down in St. Francis County, also parts of Crittenden County. If you have family coming out of Memphis, there is some rotation sliding south of I-40, and that tornado threat out of Pemiscot County has now moved into Tennessee. So we're going to go back to regular programming. We'll have an update coming up tonight on Region 8 News at 5.
And save thousands of lives. That makes them rad humans. All right, so from Texas-based Paper for Water, let's welcome sisters Catherine and Isabel. So this is Shamar and Craig. Everybody meet.
What's up, baby girls?
So, I mean, Catherine, you're 16 now. Isabel's 18. So you guys were just little when you started this. Like, where did it come from? What happened to inspire this?
Yes. So when we started Paper for Water, we were actually 5 and 8. But before that, our parents took us to the soup kitchen and lots of volunteer events. So they kind of instilled in us great values of volunteering with people and making a difference. So Paper for Water was kind of a natural segue from that. And we learned how to fold origami at a very young age and took something we loved doing and started taking donations for it. And it started as a 1-month project. It wasn't going to be big or anything, but now over 10 years later, it really snowballed out of control and is just a big organization.
It's so amazing, like how innocent that whole idea came from, and also just really rare for a 5-year-old. Origami. Like, it's awesome. I love it. Were y'all even aware of like big world issues like lack of drinking water when you were that age? I don't feel like I was.
At 5 years old, I was watching Scooby-Doo. And
yeah, right. I was like, I don't know if I was as aware. I mean, I think that's amazing that your parents did that. Were you that aware when you were that young?
No, you.
No. No.
I was probably walking in the walls at 5 years old
Yeah,
still.
like, I'm picturing my son is 5, and I'm like, okay. So can you explain how it kind of works for everyone?
Yeah, so we partner with Living Water International. They are the boots on the ground actually in the communities with local staff. And each well costs about $10,000 to $20,000. And it's so important because in the dry season, often kids don't get to go to school because they're either sick from dirty water or they're hauling water for their families all day.